Hey guys, so today I have some Cirque swatches for you. I have 12 polishes altogether. I have the Metropolis collection for fall, winter 2016, and then I have the Facets collection as well. There are 6 in each of those. These are available right now, so I will link the website down below and I will get into the swatches. So first up we have the Metropolis creams. So this first polish is called Dakota, and this is a slightly pinky light nude. So here is one coat. And this one actually has pretty good coverage on the first coat for being such a light color. It is a bit streaky though, so it is going to need at least one more. Great formula on these polishes, super easy to apply. They don't run anywhere at all, they stay right where you put them. So here is 2 coats. So this one does cover completely in 2, but I'm doing a bit of a thicker second coat. I can see where depending on your application you might need a third just to cover up some streaks. So there is 2 coats of Dakota. The next polish is called Storm King, and this is a lighter, slightly gray blue. So here's one coat. This one also, for such a light color, covers pretty well on that first coat, just a little bit streaky. Great formula on this one as well. So here's 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. And these level out really nicely as well. The last one, I forgot to mention, does dry pretty shiny. This one a little bit less, but I recommend top coat either way. So there is 2 coats of Storm King. The next polish is called Central Park After Dark, and it's this slightly dusty, I guess camouflage-ish olive green. So here is one coat. This one is also just a little bit streaky on that first coat. Really smooth, really good formulas on these creams. So here's 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. This one also dries just slightly dull. So there is 2 coats of Central Park After Dark. The next polish is called Fast Fashion, and it's this slightly peachy blush colored cream. So here's one coat. This one actually covers really well on that first coat. I think if you're not super picky, you might even be able to get away with 1, but I'm going to do 2 just to cover up a couple streaks. And this has a fantastic formula as well. So here's 2 coats. And this one covers completely in 2, which it was nearly opaque in 1. I think you probably could get it opaque in 1. This one dries super shiny. So there is 2 coats of Fast Fashion. The next polish is called Cosmopolitan, which is this kind of orchid color. So here's one coat. And this one actually covers pretty well on that first coat. It covers evenly, I just feel like it's a little bit lighter than it should be, so I'm going to do a second. Great formula on this one as well. So here's 2 coats. And 2 coats does cover completely, and it deepens the color to match what's in the bottle. And this one also dries pretty shiny. So there is 2 coats of Cosmopolitan. The next polish is called Bond Street, and this is this kind of medium berry color. So here is one coat. And this one is just a little bit streaky and a little bit lighter than what's in the bottle on the first coat. Great formula like the other ones. So here is 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. And this dries very shiny as well. So there is 2 coats of Bond Street. So now we're starting with the Facets collection. This first one is called Morganite, and this is a kind of rose gold base that is packed with silver holographic flakies. So here is one coat. So you can still see the nail line on the first coat of this one. So it will need at least 1 more, but the flakies are everywhere. Great formula on this one as well. And because these are flakies, it's going to dry completely smooth, and it's going to remove just like any other polish would. It won't remove like a glitter. So here's 2 coats. So this one does start to build up on 2, but I can still see my nail line, so it will need a third. The base on this is pretty sheer. It's just enough to give the flakies that kind of rose gold tone, so you pretty much need to build the flakies up rather than the base to get it completely opaque. So here's 3 coats. And this one does cover completely in 3. And this is super sparkly. So there is 3 coats of Morganite. The next polish is called Paraiba, and this is a turquoise jelly base with those same silver holographic flakies. So here is one coat. This one is a bit streaky and a little bit sheer on that first coat. Great formula on this one, and it is packed with flakies. So here's two coats. This one covers pretty well on that second coat. I can still see my nail line a little bit though, so I'm going to do a third. But if you're not super picky, you probably will be able to get away with just two on this one. So here's three coats. And this one does cover completely in three. And because these are flakies, it dries completely smooth as well. I mean, you still want top coat, but it's not going to be textured. So there is three coats of Paraiba. The next polish is called Dioptase, and this is a darker teal with those silver holographic flakies. So here's one coat. And this one covers pretty well on that first coat, just a little bit sheer. Great formula on this one. I do feel like it looks like there's fewer flakies. It's probably the same amount, but because it's a darker color, it kind of hides them a little bit more. So here's two coats. And this one covers completely in two. And these do dry really shiny, and like I said before, they dry completely smooth. So there is two coats of Dioptase. The next polish is called Tanzanite, and this is a darker, kind of cobalt blue. It does feel like it has a little bit of a purple tinge to it, which doesn't show up very well on camera, with all of those holographic silver flakies. So here's one coat. And this one covers really well on that first coat, just a few streaks. Fantastic formula on this one as well. So here's two coats. And two coats does cover completely. This one dries a little bit more dull than the other ones so far in this collection. So there is two coats of Tanzanite. The next polish is called Garnet, and this is a deep red with those holographic flakies. So here is one coat. So this one is a little bit sheer and a little bit streaky in the first coat. Definitely lighter than it should be. Same great formula on this one. And this one, the last one, like I mentioned, with the teal color. So I think they have the same number of flakies or same amount of flakies, but they just look a little bit less because the darker colors hide them a little bit. So here's two coats. So two coats covers completely, and it does darken the polish a lot. And this one does dry pretty shiny as well. So there is two coats of Garnet. And the last polish is called Smoky Quartz, and this is a black jelly base with those silver holographic flakies. So here is one coat. And the base on this one is a little bit sheer, a little bit streaky on that first coat, but that really has to be that way. If it was more opaque, you'd never see the flakies. Great formula on this one as well, very easy to control. So here's two coats. And this one covers completely in two, and it does deepen up that base quite a bit. And this one also dries pretty shiny, and like I said, dries completely smooth. So there is two coats of Smoky Quartz. So even though there are a lot of really pretty colors in these collections, the one that stood out to me the most was Paraiba, which is kind of interesting to me because it's not a color that I gravitate towards normally. I like it. I like these kind of colors. They're really pretty, but they're just not ever really my first pick. But something about that light, like turquoise base, and this one is super packed with flakies. I don't know if it was there were fewer flakies in the darker colors or if they're just darker so they swallow them a little bit more. But because this was a lighter color, they really stood out in this one. And it's just beautiful. Beautiful. So by far my favorite. So those are the new Cirque collections for fall 2016. Again, I will link the website down below where you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.